Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be doing an owner's review of my 2019 Silverado. So I have the sticker here actually. We can see 2019 Silverado 4-wheel drive RST crew cab in black. I'm going to hold this over here if you want to pause and read the standard equipment. But that is $44,500. And then options on this truck: All-Star Edition, Z71, convenience package, the 5.3 Ecotech V8 with dynamic fuel management, leather package, trailer brake controller, and its price was $53,350. So notable options on this truck: All-Star Edition, Bose speakers, leather package, trailering package. That's pretty much it. So here we are on the interior. Aftermarket tint brow, aftermarket window tint all around. Just a heads up. And we'll start on the left here. I can do, trailer, tow haul mode, sport mode. I got auto, 2 high, 4 low, fog lights, bed lights, cluster, increase brightness or decrease, and then my headlight controls. Moving on to the instrument cluster, a lot of people kind of complain about this being too simple. It's a truck. Pretty much all I need to know is right here: tachometer, oil pressure, coolant temp, fuel, battery voltage, and speed. And then if we turn the truck on here, honestly, I think we have a good amount of options on this. So this is my home page. It's telling me I'm facing southeast. My cruise control is armed. I got 32,000 miles on the truck. I'm in two-wheel drive. I'm in park. I can go 270 miles and I'm going 0 miles per hour. But if we go to the next page, let's start at the top here. So trip 1, this is since I bought the truck, 3,704 miles on it, averaging 15.7 miles per gallon. I think that's a little overestimated, to be honest, because I have different size tires on here, so none of these systems are going to be perfectly accurate. Fuel range, 270 miles. Oil life, tire pressure on all 4 tires, air filter life, brake pad life, fuel economies. That one says 14.4, which seems a little more accurate. I still think it's lower than that. Engine hours, transmission fluid. I get this cool off-road display, so you see if I turn my wheel here, it moves the camera and also changes those values. I'm not sure if that's included if you don't have Z71. And then a blank page. Then moving on to the steering wheel, we get the blacked out Chevy bow tie here, cruise controls. And then over here I can talk to the car, I can hang up my calls, and then this moves around, that info page. Moving on to the center console, we got this big screen. It's super responsive. I love it. All I use it for is the backup camera and Apple CarPlay. Other than that, I don't really use that ever. Moving down, we have volume, tuner, some audio controls, dual climate, heated seats, no cooled seats. Also forgot heated steering wheel on this one. We have hill descent control, auto start stop, enable and disable. You can drop the tailgate from inside, hazards, traction control, and then you can turn on this regular plug. Additionally, USB-C, standard USB, and then whatever that is, 12-volt little pin that I run my radar off of. Additionally, inside the center console, you have another regular USB, USB-C, aux cord. You can put an SD card in there, and then ample storage as well. Looking around at the rest of the interior, I like the black finish, pretty much all black everything. I like these wood accents as well. And then I have some nice Realtree seat covers on here to protect the leather. But we got 2 cup holders there, 2 cup holders here, and then a little space there. And I leave my phone right here all the time. Looking back here, I have the seats folded up, but they do fold down. Nice leather, a little bit dirty. In this cool storage compartment. Ample storage underneath the seats. I like that. I mean, there's tons of room back here when you have the seats folded up for whatever you need. You just throw them down and you can fit some buddies back there. A couple more things before we jump to the outside of the vehicle. We have a power driver's seat, front, back, tilt, lumbar support. Passenger seat is not power. And then also we have the power sliding rear window. That's pretty nice. Power heated and moving mirrors. And then the dual glove box over there. And that pretty much covers it for the interior of this truck. So jumping here to the outside, a couple notable things: aftermarket window tint, aftermarket wheels, aftermarket tires, aftermarket exhaust. However, it did come with the blacked out bow tie, so it looks pretty nice. We got black tow hooks. I did get rid of the big floppy antenna, put the 50 cal from the old truck. We got the Z71 badge. And spray and bed liner. The trailering package obviously comes with the hitch. It's a 2-inch receiver. I put this on here. It's a 6-inch drop adjustable 2-inch ball. All right, so let's get to the looks of this truck. This is pretty subjective in a review, but man, I think this is one of the best looking trucks Chevy has made.
Never die.
Let's get to driving here. This is definitely one of those trucks, especially being all black rims, big tires, a little bit of a lift. You know, it's aggressive looking, and you look back at it every time you park it, and I love it. You know, any parking lot I put it in, I'm doing that, you know, over the shoulder check, and that's one of the things. Someone said it, you know, it's a quote: if you don't look back at it, you bought the wrong truck. Now, this is sort of subjective, as this is the newest and nicest vehicle I've ever owned in my life. I bought this with my money. I bought my other truck with my money. You know, it's one of those things. I worked hard to get this, and I freaking love it. I will base this off of a couple of factors. First off, my old truck, the 2008, was an LS. It was pretty much a base model. It had an aux cord and power windows. That was pretty much the options it had. It was a 4.8. It was slow as hell, it was loud as hell, and everything rattled on it. Additionally, for some kind of context, at my job, I regularly drive a 2014 Ford F450, a 2018 Ford F150 Lariat Sport, and occasionally a 2018 Cadillac Escalade Platinum. So I'll kind of do this in 3 phases. Compared to my 2008 Silverado, this thing is crazy. It is way faster, it is way nicer, and I honestly think it might even look better. It has a lot more features, it drives better, you know, it's night and day compared to that truck, which is obviously something that you would expect. Granted, it is 11 years newer. Now, versus the 2018 F150 that I drive, I am partial to Chevy. I like Chevys better than Fords, but everything that this truck does, I think it does better than that Ford. That Ford is a 2.7 liter EcoBoost that I drive. I will say the Ford is much faster than this truck, even with the 2.7 EcoBoost that thing hauls. But the steering on that Ford feels very mechanical and weird. I like the feeling of the steering better. The suspension rides a little bit more car-like, if that makes sense, especially on bumps. It kind of, you know, jumps around and whatnot, but it's not the FX4, so that's a little bias. And I will say I do like Chevys better than Fords. Now, compared to the Cadillac, that Cadillac is pretty much a $120,000 vehicle. It's all optioned out, everything. This truck is pretty damn near close to that Cadillac in terms of amenities, and I will say there are a couple things it does better. The Cadillac has the 6.2 liter engine. I don't believe it has the active fuel management option on it. And, you know, it has some amenities like massaging seats and power amp, you know, side steps, top-down view on the backup camera, but the backup camera is significantly lower resolution than this truck here. Obviously, the Cadillac rides like a Cadillac, it drives like a Cadillac, and it is very nice, but this pickup truck that I have is kind of on the foo-foo edge, because I got a heated steering wheel, I have heated seats. The only thing I'm missing really is a sunroof. chilled seats, massaging seats. You know, the Cadillac has a refrigerator in the center console. I don't need that. And the power running boards. But this is a fancy freaking truck, and it has a lot of creature comforts that a pickup truck typically doesn't have. Obviously, I'm basing my truck knowledge off of, you know, my 2002 and my 2008, which were, I will say the 2002 for its time was pretty top of the end. It didn't have the Bose speakers, but it had leather, power seats, nice AC, all that stuff, but, you know, no heated steering wheel, no big old screen in the middle. And I do know that Dodge and Ford and, you know, whatnot are kind of better with interiors, it seems, but this is my personal opinion on this truck. Anyway, enough rambling. Drivability. Common issues that I've seen with this truck that people don't like is the transmission. So, 8-speed, they say it shudders around, it clanks around, whatnot. There is an alleged fix of getting a certain transmission fluid put in. I don't know if that's been done on this truck, but I've had zero issues with this transmission other than when it was in dynamic fuel management mode. That's probably my biggest gripe about the truck is the dynamic fuel management, but that is one thing I did away with the range technology chip, and that significantly improved the drivability of this truck and how I felt about it. I made a video on my first impression of that, and my impressions have not changed one bit. So with that chip in, I think my transmission shifts perfectly, and I have zero drivability issues with this truck. In fact, this transmission is so smooth, if I'm listening to music loudly so I can't hear the exhaust, I couldn't even tell you when it's shifting. You could give me $100 for every shift that I could tell. I wouldn't be able to do it, you know, obviously if I wasn't staring at the tachometer. It is silky smooth, and you know, when you need power, you just give it some gusto and it takes off. So I guess all in all, like I did mention, this is kind of a little biased subjective because this is a truck that I worked very hard to be able to purchase. I do like Chevys, I come from a GM family, but I freaking love this truck. I think it looks good. I think with the custom exhaust, it sounds good. It rides extremely well. Man. The interior is extremely comfortable. It looks good. It's one of those things, you know, I get in every morning to go to work and, you know, kind of hit the heated seat, hit the heated steering wheel, put some music on. It is actually luxurious, and it's great to be in here. I drive it to Denver and back, and it is very nice. Compared to my 4.8 liter 4-speed truck, you know, this has a bigger engine, a lot more horsepower, and 4 more gears. It drives like an absolute dream. It always felt like my 2008 was, you know, struggling to find a gear, shifting weirdly. You know, it was definitely low on power. This thing feels like a race car sometimes. So I guess that's the end of all my ranting and raving about this truck. I know there are probably better options for what I paid for it, or different options. You know, if I went with a Ram or a Ford, you know, something that would have a better interior or a bigger engine or whatnot. However, the 5.3 with, you know, the aftermarket rims, tires, dynamic fuel management disabler, small lift kit, it does everything that I need it to do, and it does it just perfectly. It drives on the road like a dream. It'll tow anything that I need it to tow. It has a 10,000 pound tow rating. It does that just fine. I've never towed 10,000 pounds with it, but what I have towed is fine. And its off-road ability is great. You know, you could get one of those fancy Rams, but it's got, well, I have 20-inch rims, but it comes with 20-inch rims and rubber band tires, and you can't really take it off-road. But this thing, since it is lifted up a little bit, I do have 20-inch wheels, but I have 35-inch tires, so it is pretty sweet. So anyway, I think this kind of turned more into a gloating about, all right, let's not get run into here by this dude. It turns into gloating more of this truck, how much I love it. But if y'all have any questions or comments about it, and if something you want to know, you know, if I had issues with blank or how am I dealing with blank, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next one.